Let Them All Talk. And we talk about Ryan Murphy working. Steven Soderbergh has also been working. We talked about him twice last year, High Flying Bird and The Laundromat for Netflix. Now dropping Let Them All Talk on HBO Max. Also has another film for HBO Max coming out next year called No Sudden
Oh
Moves.
yeah,
He's
loaded
working.
cast.
He's working. Yeah, I'm excited for that one. But this is the story of a Meryl Streep, a famous author, taking her friends on a journey or on a cruise, a trip.
Yep.
Um, bringing her,
Crossing.
yeah, bringing her nephew along, and her publisher trying to use the nephew to kind of like push the writing of a new book in the direction they want to go, and mayhem ensues. Not really mayhem, but some interesting dynamics ensue, and as these relationships are kind of fleshed out, and they're especially Meryl Streep and her friends are kind of forced to like face each other. I think there's a lot of stuff to dig into there. Um, why don't we start with just Soderbergh in general? I mean, we talked about Fincher last week. Fincher, one of the top tier. Do you see Soderbergh in that same discussion?
Yeah, for sure. And I think he's very interesting because Soderbergh pushes boundaries and tries new things quite often. Just in the time we've been doing the pod, he had Logan Lucky, where he was very hands on with the distribution in a unique and uncommon way. You had Mosaic, a TV show on HBO, which was like very interactive, multi screen experience. You have High Flying Bird and Unsane, which were shot on iPhones.
Mhm.
Uh, Not to mention, we had Contagion take on a whole new context in life and dominate iTunes charts when the pandemic first started. Um, he's like he said, he's always working, and this is the first of a 3 film deal now at HBO Max after previously doing some stuff with Netflix, as you said. So Soderbergh always feels like he has his finger on the pulse and is always trying to do different stuff. And again, I think he deserves lots of leeway and rope because he's working so often and has all kinds of different ideas. And in this case, I think Let Them All Talk certainly factors into this because he literally made a movie on the voyage of the Queen Mary 2 between North America and England. And that is inherently a fixed amount of time to make and shoot the movie because once the voyage ends, the movie shooting is over. And only someone like Soderbergh would try something as zany as that?
Yeah.
And that's really cool. And I also think the movie is a lovely time, like a lot of his movies are. So yeah, Soderbergh, he's definitely at the top, but he's has definitely his unique identity, as I think everyone knows at this point.
Yeah, it's interesting because when I think about Soderbergh, I think about like the Ocean's movies. Probably his biggest commercial successes. Magic Mike. But I think especially in recent years, he's definitely just trying stuff more. He's trying some less traditional filmmaking things like you talked about, and I do give him credit for that. But I think it's been to varying effect. The Laundromat we talked about had some issues. High Flying Bird I think was really underrated, but I think movies like Magic Mike and High Flying Bird and Let Them All Talk, I kind of see in a similar sense because these are really like human stories, kind of centered around like outstanding job or yeah, I guess it's usually a job. You right these non traditional jobs, and I think Let Them All Talk, being Meryl Streep being this author, kind of allows for this journey where it's really these friends dancing around each other as they have all these interesting built up resentments towards each other that they can't find a way to say. And at the center of this is Lucas Hedges, who I think is in a funny role for him. He works a lot too, and I think he gets to kind of play this like conduit between all these relationships, this in between man, um, while also trying to like pursue his own interests. And I think I found him to be probably one of the most delightful parts of the movie was just him at the center of all of this weirdness. Um, that and I have to say, I was really, really taken by uh, Gemma Chan. I just found her super charming in this movie and kind of couldn't take my eyes off her whenever she was on screen. Um, but the rest of the movie, I'm not sure how interesting I found it to be. I think at times I found myself a little bit bored, or like, I wish they would just kind of like finally have it out. But
Yeah.
were you feeling the same way?
Well, it didn't. Yeah, I think because it doesn't do what you expect. Meryl's character dies. They don't
Mm,
really, right after everything happens, and it's like you. I think going in when you think about the premise, you think it's going to be like this big to do, this big fight or something, or some like hijinks are going to happen. But no, it's really these 3 70-year-old women chilling,
mhm.
kind of talking and stuff. And like for me, it's like when Diane Weist is like "bow down, bitch" when they're playing Scrabble. It's like those are the
Yeah,
moments that I think are the best about that stuff. So it's dynamics you don't exactly expect, but like on the other hand, like Meryl's character interacting with that other writer who's like a Dean Koontz, like makes many books. They're not that great though, but they sell a lot. Like that kind of
mhm,
author, and she's much more heady, um, take her time, really self-serious type author type. I like those dynamics, I like those thoughts because those kind of persist throughout the movie and interact a lot with Gemma Chan's like role in the film as like a agent of her publisher.
right.
So that stuff was cool. But yeah, I actually think the most compelling stuff is definitely Lucas Hedges kind of like batting his eyes at Gemma Chan and
Yeah.
like seeing if this is going to be like a pseudo romance, which is unique to me because she's much older than Lucas Hedges in real life, and
Mhm.
usually it's the other way around, right? Where the woman's way younger than the older man. So that kind of stood out to me for that, especially because like as the movie's going on, you're seeing this dude keep leaving Meryl's apartment, and you're like, huh, what's that about? And then it's kind of a twist that he's actually her doctor, right? So
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, it kind of had a unique rhythm to it, but yeah, for me, it was definitely the Gemma Chan scenes. I
Yeah.
think she was really great.
No, Gemma Chan was great, and I also, going back to the doctor part. John Douglas Thompson playing the doctor. I thought that was probably one of the funniest moments of it for me when he ended up being the doctor. Because when you go back and you look at all these scenes, especially as they're kind of juxtaposed against Candice Bergen, who is really just like gold digging on this boat in a sense.
Yeah,
You're just kind of like, oh, Meryl Streep trying to get it in as well, when really it's her
yeah,
doctor's watching her because she has this heart issue that, or this medical issue that
yep.
was
He was acquitted, right? That's not so
unknown.
bad. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Candice Bergman's definitely having the most fun.
Oh yeah,
Of the three older women, that's probably like the best role. Like, it's just get
for
the
sure.
show out like that.
And be funny the whole time. I mean, even when they go back and show her working for Victoria's Secrets or whatever that the women's underwear thing is,
Hmm.
like, it's always funny when she's going back and forth with the manager. So
Yeah, definitely.
yeah, I mean, I'm never going to complain about a Soderbergh movie. I think there's just types of Soderbergh movies I prefer, if that makes sense.
Sure. Yeah. Well, I would definitely say that the next one, No Sudden Move, definitely has more of the Ocean's 11, Ocean's trilogy vibes, right? The film focuses on a group of criminals falling into a trap. And then you look at that cast: Cheadle, Del Benicio, Harbor, Ham, Leota, Kieran Culkin, Julia Fox, Matt Damon cameo. It's like, yes, please. I'll take all
Yeah,
of this as soon as possible. Thank you.
yeah. When is that coming out?
No
Can it
date
be
yet, but
tomorrow?
production wrapped in November, so you imagine it'll be an edit for a few months, and then it'll come out middle end of the year on HBO Max. So that's exciting. Also,
Eh,
Gemma Chan will be in our live soon too because she got the rare recasting in the MCU and is one of the Eternals, and also is in the Don't Worry, Darling movie, which is that Olivia Wilde movie with Harry Styles and Florence Pugh. So
Hell yeah, give
she's
her more roles.
yeah, I think she's Crazy Rich Asians was the blow up for her a little later in
Mm.
life, but like I think it's clear everyone knows Gemma Chan's really good, so she's probably being selective with her parts at this point.